Hello there, and welcome back to the Just George Allen Show. In today's episode, we're talking about Arsenal. Now, you might ask, George, why do you support Arsenal? Mainly, like most people when they're deciding what football teams to support, it's usually through your family, and it's no different for me. I just started supporting Arsenal because the family supported Arsenal. I wasn't really a football fan, like growing up. I used to, watch the odd game, but like I can't really remember too much. It was only till about 2010, and that's a long time. I was like 14, 13 at the time, and I was just like, you know what, I'm going to start watching football more. I think it was mainly because of the South Africa World Cup in 2010. I really started thinking, right, I'm going to properly, watch football. Um, the first player really that I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch out for him at Arsenal was Theo Walcott because he was English, he was quite young at the time. He was obviously in 2006 called up to England as a teenager. I don't know if he still is the youngest player to be called up for England. I don't think he is now, but obviously he was one of the youngest, or the youngest at the time. But yeah, that was probably my first top I got as well, actually. But yeah, going to watch the Arsenal was before then. I think it was when we moved from Highbury to Emirates. But then after that, it was a bit of a gap between me going to watch it the first time and then going and watch them again. But yeah, I've been going to watch Arsenal quite regularly over the last couple of years. Like last season, for example, I went about 5 or 6 times to go and watch home games. I've never been to an away game. Another fun fact, actually, I've never watched Arsenal lose at the Emirates. No, they've either drawn or won, so that's a good little record to have. um, when I think about my favourite players for Arsenal, I think of old and new, or old and current, shall I say. Um, Old players, well, you've got to say Henry. He's on this top here. If I can get that camera to work. Yeah, Henry. Obviously, legend, probably the best player to ever play in the Premier League. Dennis Bergkamp would be up there as well. What a legend he was as well. Creative dynamo in that midfield, that attacking midfield role. And I'd probably say my third favourite player, like of the old generation, would have been probably Tony Adams. It's between Tony Adams and David Seaman. I like both of them players a lot. There's obviously so many players you can go through. You mentioned Vieira, one of the best holding midfielders to ever play the game. But yeah, fond memories of looking back really, because obviously at the time of them players, I didn't really watch it. So watching it back on like say Premier League years, you're like, wow, wow, look at these players. And then you go to current day players, and there's quite a few I like as well. Obviously, Arteta has signed, a couple of really good players this season, and in previous seasons as well. If you look at Ramsdale, really happy to have him at the club. You look at Gabriel Jesus, fantastic striker. You look at Sinchenko, another like really good player to have in the team. Obviously, both from Man City, but doesn't matter where you're getting from as long as they're playing for your team. I don't know. I don't care where we got them from. Well, just look at Sol Campbell. He came from Tottenham, and then he becomes, a Premier League winner. So it doesn't matter where you came from. It's just that you're playing for the team and you're doing your job for the team. But yeah, the current form of the team, I'm just blown away by it. 9 games, I believe, 9 games in, 8 wins, 1 loss, 24 points out of a possible 27. It's fantastic. I don't know how long it'll go on for. At the time of recording this, we're still top of the table. And we have Southampton on the week. Not Southampton. We have Leeds, then Southampton. Apologies for that. Yes, Leeds away, and then Southampton away. So both games that we should really be winning if we want to stay at the top of the table. Well, we have to win if we want to stay top of the table. Other results pending. Obviously, you've got Liverpool versus Man City this weekend. That is a big game, big game. And obviously, Man City are hot at our heels. Every time we don't play before them, they go back to the top of the table, and then we win our game. We go back to the top of the table. It's early days, though. I'm not getting carried away at all. Um, do I think we'll finish top four? It's a very good chance. It could be us, Man City. Will Liverpool even qualify for top four this season? 14 points behind Arsenal. When was the last time you could say Arsenal are 14 points clear of Liverpool? I think they've got a game in hand, but still 14 points clear. It's unbelievable. But yeah, I have always seen or had Arsenal in my life. Either by wearing the tops like I am now, or playing the video games. FIFA throughout the years, Pro Evolution Soccer for a couple of years when that was slightly better than FIFA. but yeah, I've always really had Arsenal in the background. It's always been there, and even more so now, it's fully there. You know, it's probably my most watched sport, that being football. So yeah, I just really enjoy watching every single game of Arsenal's. If it's a Thursday night in the Europa League or it's a Sunday evening in the Premier League, I'll watch them. I've always enjoyed watching them ever since I properly took notice of the team fully. 2010 to now. So yeah, that's kind of really my take on Arsenal. I really enjoy going to watch the games. The travel up there. The train journey up to London, then London. Obviously like Fenchurch Street to King's Cross or wherever you go to then get to closer to the ground. Grabbing a bite of eat, a drink, taking it all in, the atmosphere at the games. That's obviously been criticised quite a lot over the years, the atmosphere at the Emirates, but I've always found it just really enjoyable going. No dramas at all, nothing like that. And I feel like at the moment, because we're on this really good run of form, I just feel like the atmosphere is just building and building and building, and you know the sky's the limit for the team. I think the only issue really for me is if we can keep the injuries to a minimal or none. I don't think we're going to go the whole season without having any injuries. I think that's very unlikely. If you lose Xhaka or Partey in that midfield, then you're looking at your bench, and you're looking at Lokonga, you're looking at El Nene when he's back. He's not available at the moment either. So it's a very fine line between you have an injury and then that team gets weakened. That's why a team like Man City, a team like even Manchester United, a team like Chelsea, a team like Tottenham, a team like Liverpool, they have a lot of options in their team. So if someone gets injured, they slot someone in. Obviously, the quality difference is going to be, there's levels to it, but our levels are not as good as other teams' levels. If you lose Ruben Diaz, you'd bring in a Kanji, for example, for Man City. You know, for us, you take off Saliba, who's been fantastic this season so far, and you bring in Rob Holding, and that's disrespect. That's not being disrespectful to Rob Holding, but there's a clear quality level between the two players in current form. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this episode. I'm happy to bring this to you in video and audio form rather than just audio only. So yeah, thanks again. Thanks to everyone who's been really, helping with comments, with helpful tips, just words of encouragement. It's really appreciated, and thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far, who's commented on the videos. It's really really helpful, and yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. So thank you for your continued support. See you later.